Well, good evening, everyone. I'm student meteorologist Michael Annan.
And I'm student meteorologist Brantley Hike.
Yeah, it was a very nice day out there, Brantley. Another cool start in the morning, but then it warmed up very quickly.
Yeah, so we're still seeing those warm temperatures in the afternoon, even though the mornings start off pretty cool out there. And we're going to see that again tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow's going to be basically a carbon copy of today. Perfect forecast for Halloween. That's going to be the main theme of tonight's show.
Absolutely. We're going to end October on a right note. We're going to have, nice cool temperatures for the prime time for trick-or-treating. And we're also going to have warm temperatures during the day. So it'll be very comfortable, nice clear sky. So it's a good forecast for anyone that's going out and about tomorrow evening.
Yeah, tomorrow evening is going to be a nice, cool night. Very good conditions outside for all the trick-or-treaters out there.
Yeah, and then looking ahead, we are watching the potential for some severe weather as we get into Thursday afternoon and evening. Right now, we do have a slight risk for severe weather on Thursday, so we're keeping an eye on that. And as those storms get closer to us, we'll have a better idea of the timing and the potential impacts that we could have.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Thursday afternoon into the evening time frame. But it isn't going to be a quick mover. The weekend's looking pretty good as right now.
Yeah, so after that gets through here, we have cooler weather, and also the time changes on Saturday night. We'll have more about that coming up later on. I know some people are confused as to whether the time is actually going to change or not, but we'll talk about it coming up.
Yeah, but for now, I'm actually going to send it out to the wall, and we're going to start off with our overview, and you can see how it was a very nice day out there. That live cam looking over Doak Campbell Stadium shows perfect conditions, not even a cloud in the sky. 79 degrees is the current temperature at the airport with mostly sunny skies and a little bit of a breeze from the east-southeast at 6 miles per hour. Satellite and radar, nothing is going on right now because we have high pressure in control over a lot of the southeast. But as we expand out to show the rest of the south, you can see some clouds in Oklahoma and in Texas. That's the next cold front that will impact some parts of the Mid-South going into tomorrow and then our region as we head into Thursday. We'll have more details throughout the show tonight. Now tonight's forecast, 52 degrees. The drier air will allow us to cool down pretty quickly. And so clear skies, and it's going to be a very nice night, setting up a perfect Halloween forecast, 83 degrees with sunny skies. But then you saw that front out towards Texas and Oklahoma. That's going to head into our region as we head into the next few days, going into Thursday and lingering into our early Friday morning with temperatures cooling down quickly going into Thursday and Friday, 72 degrees for your Friday. Finally, your headlines for today, high pressure remaining in control for today and into tomorrow. We'll have that chilly morning on Wednesday, leading to another warm afternoon for Halloween and a great evening going into all the little ones out there for trick-or-treating. And then the next cold front approaches our region going into Thursday. And we might have some severe weather, as Brantley was referring to earlier, on Thursday due to that cold front. Now, Brantley's going to go more in depth with our first local forecast.
All right, thanks, Michael. I don't know what you're talking about, though, just the little ones. I'll be out there trick-or-treating as well, and I'm a big kid. So here's a live look at our weather stem camera. This is on top of the Pensacola parking garage looking towards Doak Campbell. A nice sunset is about to be underway pretty soon here, so nice sunshine. We saw it throughout the day, and it's going to continue just up until sunset tonight. So currently 79 degrees, mostly sunny skies. There are a few clouds in the area, but not too much. We are seeing mostly sunshine throughout the Big Bend. Now this is looking into tomorrow. We do have a cold front along the way here that will be making its way a little bit closer to the Gulf Coast area. But for now, we do have high pressure situated over the Big Bend region. So that's why we've had this sunshine over the last couple of days, and we're going to see it again tomorrow. Our local satellite and radar is looking very clear right now, nothing really going on. So temperatures are going to cool off pretty quickly because of that. So there's not a lot of cloud cover to help keep the heat in. So 79 right now, dropping down tonight into the 60s, maybe even 50s in some places. Our wind direction generally out of the east or northeast, and that's thanks to the the clockwise flow from that high pressure system. Dew points are also a little bit lower because of that. It's helping shuttle in some drier air. So dew points about 48 degrees right now in Tallahassee, 44 in Perry, 41 in Thomasville, and that's in that comfortable range. We saw dew points yesterday close to 70, so this time today it's feeling much drier, much more comfortable outside than it was yesterday. Tonight, 52 degrees is the low in Tallahassee. Clear skies continue tonight. And then looking into our Halloween forecast for tomorrow, we do have some very nice weather going into the time for trick-or-treating. 82 at 6 o'clock, and then our sun does set a little bit after 7 o'clock there, and then 8 p.m. around 81 degrees. By 10 o'clock, we'll be cooling down to about 74. So it's going to be clear, a nice evening out there and pretty comfortable conditions as well. Running through our futurecast over the next 24 hours, not seeing a whole lot pop up here on the map. We do have at 8:15 in the morning, nice conditions outside, nice and clear, and then a few clouds as we get into the late afternoon hours, but we aren't seeing any color on the map, and that is normally when we would see a chance for rain. Now looking into Thursday, we do have in this yellow area a slight risk for severe weather, and that does include Leon County here in the Tallahassee area and Florida State University. So all methods of severe weather are possible right now. We are talking about the potential for high winds, heavy rains, and even an isolated tornado or two. So once this storm system gets a little bit closer to us, we'll have a better idea of potential impacts and the timing of it. But right now we're looking at severe thunderstorms possible Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening, and that's why we have a 70% chance of rain on Thursday, keeping a high near 81. After that rain passes, we'll have temperatures drop off significantly, though, into the lower 70s for the weekend.
Now I'm going to take a look at the southeast. Let's pull it a little bit further out. There's Pinellas County. There was Tampa today, and you can see they're really sharing the clear blue skies that we saw here in Tallahassee, even down there in Tampa. So really nice, even about 6 o'clock. Clear skies. You didn't see any clouds move through the area. Zooming into the southeast, I know Brantley was talking there about that area of high pressure, and we've really been enjoying it all across the southeast, keeping things very comfortable and actually really clear too. 79 degrees in Tallahassee, 79 over in New Orleans. A little bit warmer as we start to head over to the west. Houston, 82, 81 there in Corpus Christi. And then we start to look back to the east into the Carolinas. Well, 70 there in Georgia. This is Atlanta, so 70 degrees there, and much cooler there in Charleston over at 65. So that high pressure actually ushering in some of that drier and cooler air there. Next story, though, is going to be that frontal boundary, that cold front in the nation's midsection. It'll be pushing down into the southeast over the next day, but really won't affect us here in Tallahassee until Thursday. We'll sneak a nice trick-or-treating forecast in there for you here in Tallahassee. But that clockwise flow around that area of high pressure, bringing in a lot of moisture into places like New Orleans and Shreveport, and also the Texas coastline there, bringing in the much drier air back behind it into our neck of the woods. Dew point values reflect that. You can see the much higher dew point values, 63 there in Houston. A lot more moist air there in Corpus Christi. They're dealing with that dew point value of 70 as well. And then much drier air coming back in behind into the Carolinas there, 40s and 50s respectively. For that forecast, as we start to go into your Wednesday, and then we start to look at that trick-or-treating forecast, notice all those colors there on the map. And that's rain, shower, and thunderstorm activity, but that's going to be in the far northwestern expanses of the southeast. So Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, not the best locations there for your trick-or-treating forecast. But really, as we start to head back our way toward the east, it's looking nice. You see, we don't even have any cloud cover until we start to go into the Biloxi area. So really nice there. Tomorrow, though, we'll have that enhanced risk of severe weather. Predominantly will be high winds. So Louisiana back into Houston, that I-10 corridor from Houston over toward New Orleans, you want to watch out. Definitely having an alternate plan for those trick-or-treaters. And for tonight, very nice conditions. 70 in New Orleans, clear skies. As we go back our area, you see how those temperatures dive into the 50s, and then we start to warm up as we head back into the out to the west. So down I-10, you can see those conditions that start to warm up. 72 Houston, 74 Corpus Christi. Much more humid and warm air associated with that high pressure bringing in off of the Gulf of Mexico. And then for tomorrow, look at this difference between temperature. 64 in Dallas for the high, and then 82 out in front of that front for Houston. And then we really enjoy the warm temperatures across the southeast. Look at the full sun there for Tallahassee. That's always a good sight. Jacksonville enjoying the mid-80s as well. Hey, we're almost in November, and Michael from the lab has a special November report on our weather.
Yeah, thanks, Colby. So as we go into the fall months, you get the nice good fall foliage. But then we also can get some extreme weather. In November, we get the measurable snow starting in the northern cities. For example, Boston, Chicago, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Salt Lake City. They start getting their first measurable snow in November. Now, it can happen earlier. You can get snow in October in these cities. But this is on average over the last 30 years where you usually get your first measurable snow for these cities. Now, another thing, in November, you get these witch storms. Basically, a witch storm is these intense low pressure systems, like you see the one over there in Minnesota. It's all resulted because of these large temperature gradients between the north and the south, meaning that we have a lot of warmer air over the southern U.S. and then a lot of colder air coming in from Canada. When you have that huge contrast in temperature, it can set up these very strong low pressure systems and result in stronger winds. So you get very windy conditions up towards the northern plains and the northern Midwest. And in some cases, you can get blizzard conditions up in the northern and North Dakota and South Dakota. Another thing that happens in November, we still have the warmer Great Lakes, warmer water, but then you get the colder air from Canada going over that warmer water. You get some lift, form some clouds, and the air is cold enough that you can get some lake effect snow in places like Buffalo and Syracuse right along the Great Lakes. And sometimes those bands set up in such a way where they go over the same region and you can get some really hefty snowfall amounts. Like out towards Erie, Pennsylvania last year, they got more than 80 inches of snow in some places. So lake effect snow can be a big problem as we head into November. Another thing in November, we have a second tornado season, as we call it, because you still have the warm and humid air coming out of the Gulf clashing with that colder air coming out of Canada. And those strong frontal boundaries can cause some severe weather and severe thunderstorms, and some of those severe thunderstorms can produce tornadoes, mostly common across the Gulf Coast states. And finally, we still have to watch the Atlantic and the Caribbean for some hurricanes, mostly homegrown storms, but a great example of this is Hurricane Kate back in 1985 here in Tallahassee the week before Thanksgiving. So still have to keep an eye on the tropics, but not very common. But for now, let's send it back out to the wall with Colby.
Hey, thanks, Michael. Great report there in November. Something to look forward to. So it really shows that we can't let our guard down even tropical-wise. But looking nationally, we can really see where that cold front is across the nation's midsection. 80 degrees currently in Dallas, Fort Worth. Much colder there in Denver, set at 35. They've actually had some snow there in the Mile High City. Billings, 49 degrees. So some colder air starting to funnel back in behind that area of that cold front there, and keeping things very moderated. The area of high pressure dominating the temperatures close into the southeast. 79 here in Tallahassee, 78 there in Memphis. Very calm weather there. And we have to go back up into the northeast. Look at those temperatures really drop off quickly. Detroit 53, 62 Washington, D.C., and 46 over in Boston there. And dew point really reflecting where we see that frontal boundary across the midsection of the country. Really a moisture tongue coming up out of the Gulf of Mexico. That's where the winds are bringing in all that moisture there. 65-degree dew point, Dallas, Fort Worth, 66 there in Houston. Back behind it, though, into the desert Southwest and into the Rocky Mountain region. Very dry conditions there from Billings down to Salt Lake City. Dew points in the 20s. Upper level water vapor, this is where the planes fly, so this is where we're starting to see where all the moisture is currently, and that'll really reflect where we'll start to see the showers and storms around that pattern too. So from El Paso back into the Texas Panhandle, that's where we're really seeing a lot of the moisture on the map. Very dry conditions as we start to head to the north and west. Area of high pressure, you can see really funneling in this dry air for our region too. So we've been really enjoying this drier, cooler weather, and that frontal boundary across the nation's midsection there. We've got some light precip, Denver down into the northern New Mexico. Some of that's becoming snow, but let's zoom into Wisconsin first. Showers and thunderstorms making their way over Lake Michigan, just off to the north and to the west of Chicago there. So in the very far northwestern periphery there of Illinois, it's starting to move a little bit closer to the Chicagoland area, and then some light showers starting to develop back across Iowa. And this is going to kind of reflect as this continues its trek to the south and east. We'll have to watch out. We get a flood watch from, this could be around Paducah, Kentucky, back to the north and east, even into the Ohio River Valley, so southern Ohio. We'll have to watch out. Possible flooding there associated with that frontal boundary. Well, we're getting some nice snows. Look at that. You can really see from Denver, I-25 down through Pueblo, and then even down toward Trinidad. You can really see where the higher elevations are. They're enjoying the snow just off to the west of Denver. Also some more snow as we start to head from the basin around Grand Junction. Higher elevations as we start to head east toward Gunnison and Crested Butte. You can see that there with the transition from snow there in the white to the much lower elevations where you have the green. So they'll start having their snow totals. They're issuing a couple of winter weather advisories, also a winter storm warning there in the magenta. They'll start to pick up 3 to 6 inches of snow, a little bit higher at the higher elevations. And then even into Albuquerque, they're having a freeze watch there. So they haven't had really those low temperatures there in Albuquerque yet associated with freezing. So definitely want to bring your plants in there. Storm outlook, Tomorrow, Houston, I talked about that earlier. You have to watch that enhanced risk. Really high winds will be the predominant threat there. So trick-or-treaters may want to have an alternate plan there if you want to do trick-or-treating there. So this is on Thursday, though. Now we have the slight risk. Everything shifts a little further to the east. Slight risk there for Tallahassee. That'll be associated more with a wind threat, not really tornadoes, but we can't rule out the possibility of an isolated tornado there. For tonight's temperatures, really muggy across the southeast and then much drier and colder across the northwest there. And for tomorrow's forecast, 80s across the southeast and then that frontal boundary really keeping that transition zone there. And let's pull things over to our second local and we'll go with Michael. He'll look at that.
Yeah, thanks, Colby. And we'll start off with our time lapse once again over at Doak Campbell Stadium. And you can tell it was a great day out there, not even a cloud in the sky. And as we play through this time lapse, you notice the only thing you'll see in the sky is the nice golden sun just now setting over Doak Campbell Stadium. Now currently it's still 79 degrees, mostly sunny skies, perfect conditions out towards the airport. And temperatures across the rest of the local region, you can see 77 out towards Quincy, 77 in Thomasville, and 76 in Valdosta. Now the winds, we're still getting these northerly and easterly winds. That's what's been funneling in this drier air over the last few days, and that's reflected by our lower dew points. You can see low 40s in terms of dew points up towards Thomasville and Valdosta, and then down towards the coast, down towards Apalachicola, you start to notice that green, that's getting into the 50s and lower 60s in terms of dew points. So moisture a little bit higher the further west you go of Tallahassee. Now the main story for our national picture is this cold front right now moving through Oklahoma and Texas and the center part of the country. This is going to really impact our weather as high pressure starts to push away and this cold front moves into our region as we head into Thursday into very early Friday morning. Tonight's forecast, though, we're expecting perfect conditions tonight and some cooler conditions still, 54 in Tallahassee, 53 in Monticello, and then warmer down towards the coast with low to mid 60s, 62 in St. Mark's. And for your Halloween dog walk forecast, it is going to be a little chilly in the morning, not for northerners like me, but for some southerners like some Floridians, that could be a little chilly at 55 degrees. But then it warms up rather quickly, 72 degrees by 11 a.m. So it's going to be very nice for your Halloween if you want to walk the dog tomorrow morning. Now, for going into tomorrow and into the overnight hours, you can see that we're not expecting any clouds or rain in the Tallahassee region. Maybe a few clouds the further west you go, high clouds as not precipitable clouds. But again, it's going to be a very nice Halloween forecast with mostly sunny skies across a lot of Tallahassee. Now, as we go into our storm outlook for Thursday, again, that cold front in Texas and Oklahoma, we'll have to watch here as we go into Thursday. A slight risk, Tallahassee westward, going along the I-10 corridor. So the timing of this is going to be into the afternoon, into the early evening hours, but that will be fine-tuned the closer we get to Thursday. Finally, your 7-day forecast shows you that front moving through on Thursday and Friday. Again, a perfect Halloween for your Wednesday. And then a nice weekend, but cooler with temperatures in the low 70s. And finally, don't forget to change your clocks back Saturday night. We have to move our clocks back as we fall back, but you do gain an extra hour of sleep. Now let's send off to Brantley with our Halloween activities.
All right, thanks, Michael. Tonight we're going to be looking at a low around 54 degrees with some clear skies around the Tallahassee area. So a nice cool evening out tonight and a cool morning tomorrow. Now looking for a Halloween forecast, we do have this cold front moving a little bit closer to our area, but still high pressure will be dominating the Tallahassee area. So clear skies as we go into Halloween and nice conditions there. Here's our 24-hour futurecast. If we see color on the map, that's when we have our best chance for rain. And so far, it's looking pretty clear. We're not seeing any color at all show up, except for a few clouds moving through the area late in the afternoon tomorrow, and then clearing out as we go into tomorrow night. So very nice conditions tomorrow evening. At 10 a.m., we'll see temperatures around 66 degrees, warming up to the lower 80s by the afternoon there, topping out with a high.
Yeah, thanks, Brantley. So you saw the conditions here in Tallahassee are great. They're also great across the rest of the state of Florida. Like in Key West, you saw mostly sunny skies at around lunchtime here in Key West. Some clouds in the afternoon due to the daytime heating. But now as we head towards sunset, clear skies once again out towards Key West. Now temperatures across the state of Florida, you have middle 80s out towards the center and southern parts of the state, with upper 70s across the panhandle in the northern parts of the state. Coolest temperature at Jacksonville is 73 degrees with mostly sunny skies. Winds, we still have high pressure and control over the Carolinas. That's allowing this northerly and easterly flow across most of the state of Florida, becoming a little bit southerly in Pensacola. And again, these winds will really reflect the dew points. You can see less moisture across the spine of the state in Tallahassee and Gainesville, with 48 in Tallahassee and 49 in Gainesville. A little bit higher in Pensacola, where you have a little bit more of a southerly wind, so 64 in Pensacola. And then the further south you go, you have a little bit more moisture with dew points in the middle 50s to low 60s. Now, satellite and radar, once again, the main story is this cold front right now across the central part of the country in the Plains region. High pressure and control over the southeast. But as we go into Thursday, we will have to watch this cold front with some severe weather over the panhandle of Florida. But for now and for tomorrow for your Halloween, we're not expecting any weather concerns. Mostly clear skies going into your Tuesday night across a lot of the state. Maybe a shower down towards Key West. But then as we head into tomorrow morning, same story. Mostly sunny skies with a few clouds in Pensacola and the southeast coast of Florida. And then going into tomorrow afternoon, still mostly clear skies across a lot of the state of Florida, especially in Tampa and Orlando. Going into tonight's forecast, with that drier air and also very little cloud cover, we will cool down very quickly in the inland regions with 54 in Tallahassee, 55 in Gainesville, and a little bit warmer in Pensacola, West Palm Beach, and Miami with temperatures in the low 70s. And going into tomorrow for South Florida, nice day with some partly cloudy skies, middle 80s, 83 for all the communities on the southeast coast of Florida, 87 in Naples, so a warm one out there. And then for the Tampa region going into tomorrow, middle 80s as well. In the central part of the state, it's going to be a little bit warmer, where it's we're still a little bit further south, and so we have a little bit warmer air down there. And then going into the Orlando and the Space Coast, middle 80s as well, 84 in Orlando, 81 in Daytona Beach. For Northeast Florida and for the Jacksonville region, lower 80s, 82 in Jacksonville, 84 in Gainesville with sunny skies. And then finally, for the Panhandle of Florida, lower 80s with middle 80s in Mariana with 85 degrees, lower 80s as you head off to Mobile. But it's going to be a great day for Halloween across a lot of Florida tomorrow. Now let's finish off the show with our final local forecast with Colby.
Thanks, Michael. Let's bring things back a little closer to home. That's a real nice forecast, though, for the Sunshine State. Let's bring it back home, though, here into Tallahassee, a little more local. Clear skies all across the day. Look at the blue skies there. We had some high-level clouds. They tried to filter in, but really predominantly clear skies. Real nice sunset there, about almost 6:30, so really nice sunset looking back out over the campus there. Currently, we're sitting at a very comfortable 79. I know Mike was talking about some 86s tomorrow for places down around Tampa. They can keep that. I like this 79 degrees. Mostly sunny skies, that light wind out of the east-southeast there at 6 miles per hour. 79, of course, here. A little bit cooler, 73 there in Thomasville. So we're starting to have that decline, sun on the way down. So things are getting really nice, and they'll get real cool as we go into those overnight hours. Next big player as far as weather, that cold front we've been talking about across the nation's midsection. We've mentioned it several times now. And it's area of high pressure, though, keeping us a little more comfortable closer to home here. Wind speed and direction, back out, we've had these winds that are coming clockwise around this area of high pressure, so it's actually keeping things very dry and comfortable here. Light winds there in Monticello at 3 miles per hour out of the east. A little bit stronger there, Apalachicola there at 6 miles per hour, and that's coming off the Gulf of Mexico. You can really see with the dew point values, the dry air, 43-degree dew point in Valdosta, 45 there in Thomasville. And then we start to see those greens as we head further to the west there, and that's actually more associated with those onshore flow of a little bit moisture coming off the Gulf of Mexico there, but we're not dealing with that anywhere here in Tallahassee. Very good conditions. Dropping down to 54 tonight, so definitely want to layer up as you're getting things done tonight, maybe out walking the dog late. Clear skies, calm winds, that'll let those temperatures really plummet as we go into the nighttime hours. Definitely want to layer up tomorrow for Halloween. If you're starting at 8 a.m., going to start your day 55 degrees, maybe you're looking for that pumpkin there. You might want to do that before noon because we're warming up in the mid-70s by lunchtime, and then finishing out your day, we're in the lower 80s by 3 o'clock there. Forecast, this is what's really nice. This is really nice situation here as we go into your day on Halloween. Clear skies. You don't see any clouds on that radar. You don't see any actual rain falling, so that's really good for the trick-or-treaters there as we go into your evening there on Wednesday. Real nice conditions. Now this is for Thursday. This is something we're going to have to watch out for your Thursday. That slight risk of severe weather. Slight risk of severe weather indicated by that yellow. So for places like Tallahassee and then back off to the west, we're really going to be concerned for some severe winds that will be associated with that cold front I was talking about earlier. So we'll have a line of precip that will move in Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening. Marginal risk will start to, you see it go from Tallahassee portions to the east. So overnight, those storms will start to diminish somewhat. But hey, it's all about Halloween this show. Wednesday looking good, 83 degrees. Temperatures will very calm. They will temperatures will be very comfortable. They'll go back down into the 50s and 60s for your Halloween. And then we'll have that shower and thunderstorm activity. It's going to wait off until Thursday, so that's really good there. And I'm going to actually throw things back off. Let's talk more about Halloween at the desk.
All right, thanks, Colby. Yeah, Halloween is looking great out there. We're going to have really nice conditions for Halloween, but again, we'll be watching weather as we go into Thursday. So
yeah, Halloween's going to be a little bit warm in the afternoon. You have those cool and refreshing morning.
Oh yeah, there we have our dancing mummy there. Yeah, so 6 p.m., 82 degrees by 8 o'clock. Not cooling off too much, down to only about 81. We won't see a big cool off until later in the evening, around 10 o'clock at 74 degrees. So pretty cool conditions into the overnight hours.
Yeah, so you want to not have too many layers if you're heading out for trick-or-treating because it's going to be a pretty warm one out there.
Yeah, I think it'll be good for people that have, you know, big costumes that are really heavy, or even some smaller costumes, you know, that might make you feel pretty cool out there.
Yeah, but that Halloween forecast, you couldn't ask for a better one.
Yeah. And then looking ahead, we do have a time change coming up this Saturday night, or Saturday night into Sunday. So it's actually at 2 a.m. on Sunday. So when you go to bed Saturday, you'll set your clocks to fall back 1 hour. And a lot of people have been wondering, why are we still doing this? Because if you remember, back in March, we had a lot of people talking about the potential for us to stay in daylight saving time throughout the entire year. And it was passed by Florida lawmakers. The governor approved it, but it has not been approved by Congress yet. So we are still going to be falling back again this year. So an extra hour of sleep this weekend.
Yeah, see, most of our appliances and electronics, they automatically do the time change. Like our phones do the time change. I know my clock actually does the time change, but like...
Well, that's nice for you, because I have to change all of mine.
Yeah,
now,
if
you have any pictures going into Halloween, make sure you send them to us on Twitter and Facebook at FSU Weather.
Yeah, and also on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather. We also have live on YouTube if you're watching us right now, youtube.com/FSU Weather.
We're also on Instagram as well. We have pictures on there, so you can send us your pictures to be featured on our social media and here on our show on air. We'd love to see your carved out pumpkins, your Halloween costumes, and any pictures of clouds. Those are good too.
Or beautiful sunrises and sunset. But for all of us here at FSU Weather, I'm Stu Meteorologist Michael Annan.
I'm Brantley Kite. Good night.